If you liked our previous video, we thought maybe we might as well do this one too. You can tell a lot about someone by what racket they use. It's basically their personality in graphite form. So today we're diving into what your racket brand says about you. But before we get into it, if you've ever judged someone by their racket before, maybe hit that subscribe button, because we're about to expose every single one of you. Babolat. Ah yes. The Rafa disciples. If you play with a Babolat, you've definitely screamed vamos during a mini tennis warm-up. You're the person who slides on a hard court just to prove you can. You grunt louder than most people scream, and you take warm-ups like it's Roland Garros qualifiers. You've rewatched the 2008 Wimbledon final so many times that YouTube personally recommends you clay court drills in Spanish. Your favorite surface? Obviously clay. And you somehow managed to find one in a 30-mile radius even if you live in Wisconsin. Your friends think you're a bit too intense, but you just call it competitive spirit. You break strings, shirts, and occasionally friendships, but you wouldn't trade that topspin RPM blast life for anything. Wilson. There are two types of Wilson players. Type 1, the country club classic. You wear all white to the club, use natural gut strings, and if someone mentions polyester, you whisper, blasphemy. Federer is your undisputed GOAT, and you've probably tried the towel over the shoulder walk like it's center court. Or type 2, the college grinder. You're playing with the Wilson blade because literally every other college player does. It's like the unofficial uniform of Division I tennis. Scroll any college highlight reel and yep, there's another blade user, with a backwards hat, short shorts, and way too much fist pumping. But Wilson players are chill. Off the court, you're social, approachable, and you somehow make tennis look both classy and cool. Federer would be proud. Head. If you play with a head racket, Novak Djokovic is your GOAT. No questions asked. You're a grinder, a worker, the person who stays after practice to fix their backhand footwork pattern. Your dream? To one day hit a sliding open stance backhand on hardcourt like Novak, even though every time you try, your shoes sound like a dying cat. You've watched too many slow motion forehand breakdowns, you've studied technique videos like they're sacred texts, you talk about elastic energy and internal shoulder rotation as if you're part of the ATP biomechanics department. But let's be real, head users also have a bit of an ego. You know your racket is precise. You look at Babolat players like they're cavemen swinging frying pans. You're serious about your game. And you don't just want to play tennis. You want to perfect it. If you play with a Yonex, you're not human. You're a machine. A factory of consistency, precision, and quiet superiority. You love telling people that Yonex rackets are all made in the same factory, and that every single one comes out perfectly matched in weight, grip size, and balance. You've probably said the phrase, actually, Yonex quality control is the best in the industry. You don't understand why everyone else hasn't converted yet. You're like a tennis evangelist, spreading the gospel of the isometric head shape. You secretly dream of having a one-handed backhand like Wawrinka, but your actual game is more robotic than rhythmic. You worship control, precision, and craftsmanship, and you pretend not to notice Kyrgios because deep down, you wish he'd switch brands. Tecnifibre. If you're a Tecnifibre player, you've probably got Daniel Medvedev highlights bookmarked. He's your spirit animal. Awkward, efficient, and somehow unstoppable. You're a bit of a modernist. You love that your racket is kind of a mystery to the older players. You love that your racket is kind of a mystery to the older players. You show up to the club and someone always asks, wait, what brand is that? You're like, it's French. You wouldn't get it. Off the court, you're the cool one. People love you, even if they can't pronounce your racket brand. On the court though, you track down everything. You're not flashy, but you win. You'll make 25 balls in a row just to break someone's soul. You're the future of tennis, and you know it. Dunlop. If you use a Dunlop, there are only two possibilities. You're either an old-timer who's been using the same racket since 1994, or a complete beginner who found one at Walmart on sale for $59.99. There's no in between. You tell people it's underrated, and to be fair, Dunlop is making a comeback, With players like Jack Draper, Mimir Kecmanovic, the brand's having a little renaissance. But still, when people see you with a Dunlop, they can't tell if you're a hidden genius or someone who just forgot to update their gear since the 90s. If you're playing with a Prince racket, we have one question for you. What the hell are you doing? You're either a boomer who refuses to change, or someone who just discovered tennis and thought, well, this looks vintage. There's a certain nostalgia to it, but let's be honest. Prince is like the MySpace of tennis brands. It had its time, it had its legends, but that era is gone. Even Isner's retired, buddy. Still though, some respect, because if you're still using one, you clearly don't care what anyone else thinks. And that's kind of legendary in its own way. So which one are you? Did we just perfectly describe your tennis soul, or completely roast your favorite brand? Let us know in the comments what racket you play with, and whether we nailed it or missed by a country mile. And as always, we'll see you next time, same court, same chaos, right here on Hot Take Tennis.